afternoon and many thanks for staying tuned to Nyomi FM radio, broadcasting on 94.0. Welcome to the Riverside News, and here are the top stories. Barrow urges collective actions 54th CPA, a powerful call for West African unity. ANAKED awaits government action on Jammeh's prosecution. FJT praises Barrow's leadership, says few can match his tolerance. Details of these stories and more are coming up shortly. Glad to have you join this edition of the Riverside News broadcasting, which begins with the presidency on the recently concluded ECOWAS 54th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association CPA in Banjul, where the Gambian leader has called on ECOWAS to engage in collaborative action for West African unity. Here is more in this report by Mamina Sow.
President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Adama Barrow, has called for collective action among the West African nations, emphasizing that unity is crucial in addressing the region's challenges. Speaking at the 54th Conference of the Parliamentary Assembly CPA, Barrow urged leaders to work together to overcome common obstacles and promote regional stability and development. Here was the Gambian leader speaking before members of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association CPA held at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center in Banjul.
Distinguished delegates, the tasks before you are immense. So must your collective resolve be intense. The salvation of Africa lies in democratic governance, proper policies and appropriate actions, sustained by peace, stability, and security for all. In line with the values and principles of the Commonwealth, I encourage you to engage in thoughtful dialogue, forge stronger partnerships, and commit to concrete actions that will strengthen democratic governance and build resilience across the continent.
Meanwhile, the African Network Against Extrajudicial Killings and Enforced Disappearances, ANAKED, through its country director, Sirandao, has revealed to Nyomi FM in an exclusive interview that the organization is waiting for the Special Accountability Mechanism unit set up by the Gambia government to start prosecuting former President Yahya Jammeh and other implicated in the TRRC report. Mamjara Kamara has more.
The African Network Against Extrajudicial Killings and Enforced Disappearances, ANAKED, is urging the Gambian government to take immediate action in prosecuting former President Yahya Jammeh and his associates for human rights violations and crimes against humanity. According to Sirandao, ANAKED's country director, the organization is waiting for a special accountability mechanism set up by the government to start prosecuting Jammeh and others implicated in the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission TRRC report. ANAKED's call for action comes after the TRRC's final report in December 2021, which recommended prosecuting Jammeh and 69 others for various crimes, including torture, extrajudicial killings, and enforced disappearances. Despite the government's acceptance of the TRRC's recommendations, progress has been slow, with some perpetrators applying for amnesty and others fleeing the country. The Gambian government has established a joint technical committee with the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to develop a hybrid court for prosecuting serious offences. However, ANAKED emphasizes the need for local ownership and prosecution within Gambia's borders to ensure justice and accountability for victims. Here was Mrs. Sirandao on the microphone of Usman Amaran.
Thank you very much for that question, Usman. In terms of prosecuting junglers and all other perpetrators who have been recommended for prosecution by the TRRC, including Jammeh and other government officials like Aissatou Sedi, we're expecting for the special accountability mechanism that was set up by the government to prosecute them. And that is already in place. Part of it is already in place with the setting up of the special division at the High Court by the Chief Justice in January of 2024. So we have a court that is ready to prosecute these perpetrators. What we are waiting for is a special prosecutor. The prosecutor's role is to prepare these cases and determine whether they should be going to the special criminal division or whether they are of international nature, crimes that we do not have in our law books, and those will be going to the special tribunal that, as we are aware, in December of 2024, ECOWAS approved to work with Gambia and support us in the setting up of a special tribunal which will allow us to prosecute crimes that we don't have in our law book. That is the expectation, and that is what we are working on actively. Not just an expectation, but working on actively advocating for with the government and other stakeholders and supporting in any way that we can to make this a reality.
Wrapping up this edition, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta, has praised President Adama Barrow's leadership, describing it as second to none in democracy, rule of law, and good governance.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta, alias FJT, has lauded President Adama Barrow's leadership, describing it as second to none in democracy, rule of law, and good governance. Speaking on the President's leadership style, FJT noted that President Barrow's tolerance is particularly noteworthy, saying some of us will even go to tease to say, I don't even know whether I can be as tolerant as President Adama Barrow. He made this remark at the recently concluded 54 Commonwealth Parliamentary Association CPA Africa region held at the Sadauda Kereba Jawara International Conference in Banjul. Here was an honorable speaker speaking before fellow parliamentarians.
For those of us who witnessed independence to date, those who traversed the various leadership to date and are genuine to our conscience, very well know that Gambia, under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, is second to none in democracy, rule of law, and good governance. Some of us even go to tease to say, I don't know whether I can be as tolerant as Honorable President Adama Barrow. For us in the legislature, the National Assembly underwent a very serious transformation. And throughout, we all know that parliaments usually are legislative, oversight, and representation. Oversight over the executive arm of government. But throughout the process, His Excellency President Adama Barrow acknowledges the independence of the parliament. Not only did he acknowledge it, he helped to nurture it, to nourish it, and consolidate it.
This report by Ramatullah Pai ends today's edition of the Riverside News on Nyomi FM, broadcasting on 94.0 from the North Bank region NBR in the heart of Esau. But before we go, here are the top stories. Barrow urges collective actions, 54th CPA, a powerful call for West African unity. ANAKED awaits government action on Jammeh's prosecution. FJT praises Barrow's leadership, says few can match his tolerance. Many thanks to reporter Ramatullah Fai, Mamina Sow, producer Mamjara Kamara, and editor Kader Njai for the technical assistant. I am Usman A. Marong. Bye for now.